Greetings, this is Jeff from Astro Scoop, Deep Dive Astrology Mentoring. And it is July 12th, 2026. I did an earlier live stream early today, this morning. I'm going to be doing 15 or 20-minute sessions more frequently instead of the 1-hour traditional live stream that I usually do. And I want to kind of break it up almost into little mini chart readings or horoscope analysis. So if any of you that see this, if you want and have any ideas about your chart, a celebrity chart, or anything coming up as far as the transits this summer into the fall, please let me know. And I'm open to a lot of ideas. I have a lot of ideas for the late summer and early fall, and I'm trying to working out some kinks. Working the kinks out and see where we'll go from here. But let's see. This is that's a little better. Okay, so Astro Scoop, Western Astrology Mentoring. I'm going to wait a couple minutes to see if anyone comes in. Again, I did a live stream this morning. You can check that out. And I will be doing more of these 15 or 20-minute, maybe half-hour sessions instead of my 1 hour or longer live streams, and break them up into more digestible and more user-friendly content, I guess, for a lot of my viewers. And I have a lot of new subscribers and a lot of new viewers from two particular countries. One is Vietnam and another is India. So I really am appreciative of those viewers, very much so. All right, well, people can get this on the replay, so let's go right into sharing my screen. Let's look at the chart. I did this, so you can check that out, but of course I will share different information so that you can watch both streams. But here is, today's the 12th, and here's the new moon in Cancer, July 14th, 2026 in the morning, New York time, Eastern time, New York. And what I mentioned this morning is what's so obvious is this stellium of Cancer energy, Mother Earth energy. So it doesn't matter if you're male or female. If you have any of this major Cancer energy, if this Cancer is conjuncting any of your Cancer planets, it will infuse you to want to mother or father people much more than usual, but you should also do that with yourself and have good self-care. So the sun and moon conjunct on 2 days in Cancer is conjunct a star called Castor. So I mentioned that, and that's part of Castor and Pollux. Castor is a cunning sign. It has Mercury, Venus, or Saturn influence in addition to the moon, but it's a late degree of Cancer, which indicates that it's a third decan Cancer, which is a Neptune co-ruler as well. So there's a little bit of Neptune influence in there, or Pisces influence, for late Cancer people. And this energy, while it can be caring and domestic like earlier Cancer degrees, this particular late Cancer energy is a little more manipulative, can be a little more prone to negative emotional moods or manipulation. And then, of course, when it comes up to a later degree, somewhere around 27, 28, it's part of the Cancer-Leo cusp, which I'll be talking about in a couple weeks. And we'll do a live stream on the Cancer-Leo cusp, which begins right around the 19th and goes to like the 25th or 26th of July, Cancer-Leo. But this is significant because Mercury is retrograde, and it's only for another 2.5 weeks. So pause. This is a time for emotional pause. It's a motherly mentality. Emotions influence thinking. And of course, the Cancer-Mercury is square Aries and Libra planets. If you have Aries or Libra planets near this degree, this is squaring it, which will cause tension. And of course, Capricorn, which is over here in the chart on the 14th, No major Capricorn for transits, but Capricorn planets will be opposed and will have a push-pull mechanism, not as tense as the Aries and Libra, but it will be a push-pull of energy nonetheless if you have Capricorn planets that are in the 20s degrees. And of course, this moon's going to move quickly, and then the sun, we have less than 10 degrees to go until we're in Leo. And then, of course, this will come out of retrograde, station direct, and then Mercury will go into Leo as well. But I wanted to talk about Saturn because I mentioned this morning that I was going to talk about Saturn tonight. So you can get a little bit on each stream, a little bit different. So I've been talking about this for months. Saturn is now direct. It's at 14. So people with Aries planets in the second decan are getting a conjunction, which is very significant. So if your Saturn in Aries is conjunct your Sun in Aries, Moon in Aries, Venus, your love life, or rising, or even Mars, it is going to structure and fix your posture, so to speak, for those Aries planets. Not going to be easy. It's going to be rough, and it's going to feel a little abrasive. Capricorn and Aries square tends to always be abrasive. That doesn't mean it can't work together. They're both leadership signs, and they're both energy that is active and cardinal. But they tend to have very, very different approaches to taking care of situations, goals, tasks, and long-term planning, which is usually what Saturn's about, or Capricorn, and Aries is not so much looking to long-term, especially early Aries degrees or young Aries people in their 20s or 30s may not be looking towards the future as much for plans and how to use that Saturn energy. But this Saturn in Aries will go retrograde. I mean, I have a whole Saturn masterclass here, so I'll be referencing this at least for the next month or two. And Saturn goes retrograde on July 26th at 14 degrees of Aries, which is a Sun and Mars degree. So there's Sun energy within these Aries planets. These are Aries planets and Aries energy that has a Leo or a Sun flavor, but it's retrograde. So it's going to cause a pause. I didn't mean to rhyme there, but it will cause a pause for all Aries planets, and that will be opposing Libra planets and obviously squaring Cancer and Capricorn. So make a note of this. This week is the middle of July. Then we have to go all the way to December 11th of 2026 for Aries to go direct. It's going to go all the way back to 7 degrees. It's going to fall back 7 degrees, which is a lot this year between now, July, and December. So I predict a lot's going to happen between now and December, especially for people with Aries planets. Now, if you're a person that has Aries planets, or you are an Aries and you are near a critical age in life, such as you're between 28 and 30 and you're going through your Saturn return, 1996 or 1997 people. If you have Aries and you were born in 66 or 67, that's significant because you're going through people that are turned 60 or almost 61 are finishing up their second Saturn return. And then for people that are old enough, 1936 and 1937 births are going through their third Saturn return, if you can believe that. So if you're 90 or 89 and almost 90, you are going through your third Saturn return. But it's more significant for those Saturn return people, 96, 66, or 36, if you have Aries planets that are conjunct this Saturn. Very much more significant. But you'll have your Saturn return regardless, even if that particular person does not have Aries planets. But this is very, very a monumental time, the next year and a half, for Aries people to really clean up their act, refine, mature, and think of long range, think of 1 to 3 year, at the minimum, 1 to 3 year goals, not so much 3 to 6 months, Although in the short term, this may give Aries planets impetus and drive, but it will also give tension and maybe some frustration if the Aries planets are repressed at all. So there might be some frustration coming there. But this, like I said, this is going to go from 14, it's going to go all the way back, tick, 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 to December to around 7. So then the earlier Aries people and Aries planets that are around 6, 7, 8, 9 are going to get another conjunction in the winter going into 2027. I can't believe we're talking about 2027 already. Feels like the summer just started. So in the winter of 2027, and then that will be there. That'll be direct. And then it will go till March of 2027, where it will catch up to 13, 14 degrees again, where we're at now, and then eventually go retrograde again next year. So it's a long process right now, even though we're in the middle decan of Saturn Aries. It's a long process for Aries people and Aries planets. So, and Aries probably more than any other sign needs to work with this energy and be patient, because I've known so many people with Aries in their chart, all ages, men, women, different backgrounds, different ages. And it's rare that you find a lot people with a lot of Aries that are patient. So obviously that is a huge lesson in this lifetime for people with Aries planets, is to learn to be patient. And there are times to move fast and make quick decisions, but not with Saturn. With Saturn, you do not want to be impulsive. You might make some mistakes preliminary, but you want to look at that a year. You want to look a year from now, July 2027. You want to look at January 2028, a year and a half from now. You know, a year and a half to 2, 3 years, longer range goals for how to use that Saturn in Aries. Now, if anybody sees this on the replay and you are a Saturn Aries person, please comment and let me know. I could always highlight your chart, and I will do it for free for 5-10 minutes. Or if you have Aries planets that are around this degree that Saturn is conjuncting or will conjunct, please let me know, because that will be very, very helpful to know what the ages of people are. And then, of course, does that coincide with anything near a Saturn return age? Because you have to look at astrology in terms of major age cycles. And 28 to 30 is one of the biggest ones for people going through their Saturn return, for those that are 28 now, 29 and 30, and finishing it up. If you're born in 95, you're turning 31 this year, you're done. So a 31-year-old obviously is he or she's done with the Saturn return for the first time, and then they're working on their next Saturn, which will be a square, which will be in the late 30s, somewhere around 36, 37, 38. That person going from the Saturn return will get a Saturn transit square to their natal Saturn. But I'm losing my voice. I did a lot of talking today and a lot of preparation for both this morning's live stream and tonight's live stream. So I'm going to cut it off short because I don't want to lose my voice. I do have things to do tomorrow, including talking. So thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I may or may not cut this up into clips, but please comment, no matter what country you're from. Again, if you have any Aries planets that are near Saturn especially, or any Cancer planets that are near this foursome. This is not just a stellium. This is Sun, Moon, Mercury, and the 22-degree Cancer ascendant, all conjunct, and they're all conjunct Castor. So imagine a baby being born on Tuesday morning in New York. This is going to be the baby's chart. Holy cow. Amazing. And this is all in the 12th house. So all this intuitive feminine Cancer energy is in the 12th. But thank you so much. Please catch us on the replay. I'll probably be doing another live stream brief session in another 10 days to 2 weeks or so, and we'll go through more transits. But thank you so much and have a great week.